I have Meredith, and she left the classroom for 3 years and is now going back. So, hi, Meredith. Tell us a little about yourself and why you left.
All right. Hi, Kelly. Gosh,
Hi.
it's good to see you.
I know, you too.
Haven't seen you in a while. Well, I do watch your lives on recording.
Oh,
Usually when I
thank
get
you.
a chance, and some of the other things that you do. I caught yours and Cindy's the other day.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So, well, my name is Meredith Armstead, and I'm a teacher. I've been a teacher for, let's see, going on like 19 years now. I teach online and in the classroom. I stopped teaching in the classroom about 3 years ago, and it was just teaching online. And now I'm going back to the class.
Nice.
My husband says during COVID, how does he say it? He's like, "You were living your best COVID life." I'm like, "What are you saying?" Because I was teaching in the classroom at the time, and of course, school shut down like March 13th or something, and so we all had to go home. And I have always taught pre-K. That's the only age group or grade that I've ever taught, except for online. I've taught older kids, but in person. And so we weren't really required to do anything online. But I decided, since I was already online with VIP Kid and working, I thought, I can record some things. And so I recorded some videos of kind of like a circle time thing for the kids, and I would send it to the parents for them to watch every day. And so that was fun. So my husband's like, "You were working, but you didn't have to work. You were still getting your paycheck. And then you were working all those hours with VIP Kid and loving all of it because you were home." I'm like, "You're right."
I know, that's the best. So you were kind of getting double pay. You're getting
I was
paid for your
getting
job.
double pay. And, and I look at it and I hate to be like, "Oh yeah, that was great times," because it was hard times for a lot of people, and it was really bad for a lot of people, and we had a family member that passed away from COVID. But for me, I was still working and doing what I loved and making a paycheck. So
yeah, I think we were lucky in the online space because you're right. A lot of people got laid off or couldn't do their jobs, and that's terrible. But like the online space started popping. Well, first of all, in China, they had COVID, or they were suffering from it months before we were.
Right.
And then they were all home, so they were all taking classes. So classes were booking there. But then we all got on Outschool, and Outschool was booming because, kids couldn't go to school. I know with my kids, they just stopped doing school basically. So a lot of parents were using Outschool. You just put up a class and it would book. It was great.
I know.
It started slowly.
I did a little bit on Outschool. I had a few classes that I taught, just fun classes. But then I sort of I kind of stopped doing it. I just sort of let it go because we went back to school. We had to go back in person. And so I sort of let Outschool go, but I stayed active, on the platform. And, since I've been off, not working in a classroom, I kept saying, "Oh, you need to get back on Outschool, really try to get back on Outschool." But I don't really want to have to manage all of that. I just want to get on and teach. I don't really want, kind of in the back of my head, I want to have the business and do it. But then when it comes right down to it, I really just don't. I just want to teach.
Right.
And I'm like, that's okay, because some people just want to teach, and so that's why I started. I started back with Outschool, and a friend of ours who was also, I I think she was with VIP Kid, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
She was.
And she has an organization.
Mhm.
And so she had posted something about needing teachers, and it was for pre-K classes, learning to read classes. Everything was done for you. You just tell her what you want for shifts and days. She puts it on there. It's called Little Learners Big League, is what it's
Mhm.
called, and it's such a cute name. But and she has the pre-K classes. And everything's done. I just have to tell her what I want to teach. She puts it on the schedule, and I just wait for learners to come. She takes care of the pay. I just put in for my timesheet, and it works for me.
Yeah.
And I don't have to do anything. Yes, I have to do the like a oh my gosh, what would you call it? Like a review of the class or whatever.
Okay.
At the end, but it's nothing. It's nothing big. It kind of like how we had to do for VIP Kid. You would just
The
write
feedback.
a feedback. That's what I was
Mhm.
trying to come up with, a feedback.
Mhm.
So I just do a little feedback, and that's it. And it works perfect. I wish it would have happened earlier in my 3 years that I've been off. So that I could start with the pre-K classes, and then I could have gotten a bigger following
Mhm.
and not gone back. But now that I'm going back, I'm just going to do an afternoon. I'm going to try an afternoon pre-K class, and I've got one. I got to remember it's all time zones, so
Mhm.
that works. But
Yeah.
so I was working right before I stopped working. Like, I started teaching right around 2005 in Florida.
Mhm.
I kind of did the same route that you did. I had a bachelor's degree in something different that
Mhm.
wasn't teaching. I was subbing a lot. I loved to sub. And my cousins, I was back home for something, and my cousins were like, "Oh, you should just be a teacher. You'll love it. It's so easy. You have your summers off, all of this stuff, and all your weekends." And I was like, "Oh, that sounds great. I'm already subbing, may as well." So I went the alternate certification route.
Mm.
So basically, I just had to, gosh, it's been so long. I think this was for Florida. So I think I just
Mm.
had to take like one test or something. I had like one test to take, and then I was certified.
Mm.
I worked in Florida, and then I ended up moving to Georgia, transferred my Florida certification to Georgia. And for Georgia, all I needed at that time was like a computer test. And I'm like, a computer test? I just did my entire application, uploading things and, all this stuff on the computer, but still
Mhm.
had to take a computer test. Of course, I passed it. But so I started working in Georgia. I was in North Georgia for, gosh, 2 years. I was in North Georgia. And then I moved down to where I am now, which is south of Atlanta, maybe an hour south of Atlanta. And I had worked in pre-K at a public school for 11 years. Same school. Loved it, all pre-K.
Mm.
So at this point, I'm 16 years in, and I don't know if you're like me, but I live and breathe it.
Yeah.
I'm always doing something for the classroom. I'm spending my
Mhm.
own money on the classroom, and kids need a new pair of shoes, and I'm buying the shoes, and just all of it. I just live and breathe it. Now, I don't have kids of my own, so that may
Mhm.
be why I'm a little more giving with the money that I earn being a
Mhm.
teacher, because I don't have kids to put through college. I am saving for retirement already, so that's already being taken out. So, I guess what I would spend on my own children, I spend it in my classroom. So here we are, 16 years down the road. Things have changed a lot. It's not
Mhm.
easy anymore, and the
Mhm.
way Georgia, they do have some special needs pre-K classrooms, kind of like what you're working in. It sounds like it's very similar.
Mhm.
But they're not, unless the kids start off early and go through kind of like the Babies Can't Wait program, or have some speech issues, they don't really like to test them while they're in pre-K. So the kids come into pre-K and, you don't really know who's coming. And so it started becoming very difficult to manage 22 children, all the paperwork, all of the data collection, just year after year after year, and it wasn't getting any better. Some years I had really, really, really good help in the classroom as far as administration goes. Some years, not so much. And so all that combined with the typical 4-year-olds, which I can handle typical 4-year-olds all day long, but when you mix in the ones that need a little bit more assistance, a teacher and a para cannot handle it, especially when you have runners and more runners. And then what do you do with the other 20, or 19 or however many there are? So I was exhausted. I was just completely burnt out. I didn't like driving to school. I would find myself driving to school. I'm turning around. And so I knew, it's time. So I ended up working 2 years like that, where I really wanted to just turn around and call and say, I'm sorry, I'm done, but I can't do that though. I really you have to work out your time. You have to do it the right way, which I did. And, I told him, I said, I'm going to take a break. I knew I was going to come back. I didn't know how long of a break I was going to take. And everyone's like, oh, you'll never come. You're not coming back. You're not coming back. I'm like, no, I think I will come back. And so I started subbing. I love subbing. Subbed for K through 5 or pre-K through 5. Did some long-term subs, and just basic subbing. And when you sub a lot, and my town is not super big, so you kind of go to the same schools. You pick your schools that you like and you go, and they always call you, so your schedule's full. Well, for the past 3 years, I was working every day.
You can.
Why don't you just go back? You're working every day. Just go back and get the paycheck and get back on the retirement system. Add some more years to your retirement. And you're working every day. So just go. So, and then every time I'd find myself going into schools, especially when I would do a long-term sub, like I would just take ownership of the classroom. Like I was like, this is my room. These are my kids. And I'm going to do the best I can, And so I always just missed. Every time I would go in, I started missing having my own classroom. So I'm like, okay, I'm going back. So I set up, the whole application process, and I had to update everything and send in new references, stuff like that. And I applied for teacher positions and para positions because I thought, I could go back as a para. The money is terrible, absolutely terrible, but it's a paycheck every month because the way my county pays, they divide your salary into 12 payments. So you get paid every month. That's one of the misconceptions about teaching, oh, you get paid in the summer. And it's like, I get paid in the summer because my little salary is divided by 12. That's why.
Right. Yeah.
You get free, it's free money. It's like, no, this was my salary. And it's divided. So I thought, the money's terrible, but I'm just going to go ahead and take. So I took a pre-K para. That's what I know. That's what I love. The school. Love the school. It's 6 miles from my house.
Oh, good. That's nice.
It's nice. And I live out in the country. And so anytime I would sub there, I might see 2 cars on the way.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be so nice. And I thought, for a para job and a school that's close, This will get me back into the routine. And then I want to go another at least 4 years. I may go longer than that, but that'll put me at 15 years for retirement. I may go longer, it just depends, but I will eventually apply for a teacher position.
Yeah. I was going to say, don't they have plenty of those too?
Plenty of those.
Yeah.
Plenty of those. But this one came up.
Uh-huh.
And I just thought it's a good way to transition back in.
Yeah.
You having to be there. You have to be there. You have to do the work. You have to, when you're a sub, you can just, oh, I signed up for this sub job, but I think I'm going to cancel, they'll find another sub. And,
right.
And the teacher leaves work. And of course I do everything that the teacher says, but, some subs don't. So they're like, I don't have to do all that, but this job, it'll get me into a good routine. So.
Right. And if it's close. So I do have one question. So if you've been a teacher before, is that going to be hard for you to take on the supporting role when you've been the one in charge?
Well, that's what that my husband asked me that, and they asked me that in my interview. And, I told him, to be honest, it will be hard. It will be hard, but I understand what the para's role is, and I understand what's needed of a para, and I understand the teacher role, especially in pre-K, because it really, even though it's teacher and para, it really, it takes two to do all of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not fully responsible, and I don't have to write the lesson plans or write the summaries, things like that, but I'm still responsible for certain things.
Definitely. I mean, I would say it's pretty much almost like a partnership when it is pre-K.
Yes.
Like, you need all hands on deck. You need everybody. And some teachers are a little more controlling than others. Like, I had a para that had a lot of experience. I don't mind. Come on, bring your ideas. Help me lesson plan. That'd be great. But and I am surprised. So for us in the special ed, I have 2 paras, which I think the extra support really is needed with the special needs. So I'm kind of surprised that they only have 1. But you said it was actually general ed. Maybe some of the kids just weren't diagnosed yet, basically, is what you were saying?
Yes, not diagnosed yet. Yes. And like I said, some of the years, it's just a teacher and a para for 22 kids. They did lower it last year. It went down to 20 kids, which helps. And some of the years, if I had kids that came in with diagnosis already, they had a para with them kind of in snippets of the day.
Okay. So sometimes you had extra support throughout the day.
Yes. Sometimes I would have extra support. And then there were years where there was, nothing, and it's not to knock my school district, because they do try their best, especially the school that I was at. Some schools you don't get the support. But it's just some years they just didn't have the availability for the support, and the parents also have to be on board. You can't just say, oh, I need help in here. The parents have to know that someone is going to be there. And then when you don't have the support of the parents, then you're on your own.
Right. Just for people watching, because it has to be an IEP meeting, and an IEP is a legal document, and the parent has to agree.
Yes.
So it says I have 10 people watching. Hit the like button. That's what it says. Yes. Or say hi in the chat as well. But and it kind of surprises me, because I would think, at least me as a parent, that you would want the help. Like, oh, my child has one-on-one attention. But I mean, I'm sure parents have their reasons why they don't want it, or like sometimes it's just that they don't want to admit, or they don't want to label on their kid, is what a lot of them will say. But I would think you'd want it.
Right. And I would too, as a teacher. You would think that you would want it, because it's helpful to your child. And just because they have an IEP now doesn't mean they're going to have an IEP all the way through high school.
Yeah.
That if you start early enough, you can, I don't know what the word, you can kind of graduate out of the IEP system or whatever. It doesn't mean that they're always going to have an IEP.
Right.
And I think it's different. It's a little bit different now. I think the stigma of it is a little bit different now.
I agree. Totally agree with that.
So, and I hate to say stigma, I don't mean stigma, but
it's true.
It's just not there as much. But so I decided to go back. So we'll see if how it goes as being a para. But I am excited that I can just go and do what the teacher asked me to do, and then I can just come home.
Right. You don't have to be there early for the meetings, or you don't have to talk to the parents.
No.
So you kind of, you get, the benefits of the job. You get to just do the job and be with the kids without all that other things.
Now I may find it's like, well, I think I would rather have the money and deal with all that than just para pay. But we'll see, because, I make a little bit of extra on, with Outschool on the Little Learners Big League. And I do a little bit on Cambly. I'm trying to phase that out.
Right.
Because that's early mornings. But
it
for
is.
me, I have had the same kids since some have gone, but the kids that I have now, I have about 10 kids now. I've had about half of them since I started.
Wow.
I know, in 2021. I started there in 21.
Oh, okay.
So it's really that's difficult for me. That's going to be hard for me to give up.
Yeah. So are they still paying that 10 something, 21 an hour or something?
They do. Yeah, they do. It's $6 a class. So $6 for 30 minutes. Is basically what it is for kids. I've never taught the adults. I think the adults is less, but it worked for when VIP Kid stopped. Or, scared us. I know people worked the whole time.
Yeah.
It was a good, second, like a backup.
Yeah. I used to use them as like a backup, because for those who don't know, you could just like have an account on Cambly and you didn't have to do it. You could just like let it sit and not do anything. I think I still have an account, but I would go ahead. Yeah, I would use it for no shows, and then.
Oh yeah, that's right. And I like it too. I mean, it's all what you want out of it. So yes, it's $6 for 30 minutes, but if I have to cancel, if I cancel more than 12 hours before, I just cancel. And
which is nice.
There's no questions asked. I've canceled last minute. I've had to cancel last minute. And I've canceled last minute. And the last time I canceled last minute, I didn't get an email or anything. Like no questions asked. You just, it was just, I canceled and I sent the message to the parents, and that was that. Yeah. And then, so there's no questions asked about tech issues or weather. I mean, I guess if you do it, if something happens all the time, then maybe they might start sending you an email. But I never, I guess, because it's just so sporadic for me if I need to cancel or whatever. And I try to do it ahead of time, but there's no feedback.
Oh, that's nice.
You get on, you teach it, and you're done.
Right.
So it's, so it's $6, but it adds up. It adds up per week.
Yeah, that I think the adults was less than that, but yeah, and it's so much more flexible. So for those who don't know, VIP Kid had such a strict cancellation policy. Like it affected, you would cancel once in a year, and it would affect you not getting a raise. Like that's how much, just one time.
Yeah. And if you still wanted to have it not it still counted against you, but
Mm-hmm.
not, it was like a soft cancellation and a
Mm-hmm.
hard cancellation. I mean, I remember we had, I think it was the tornado that came through. I had to send screenshots. I mean, we were without electricity for 2 days, I think. I mean, and just sending all of this stuff in. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
this is ridiculous. Then my husband tried to set up the generator and, wire the cords through the window and the whole. And I look back on that and I'm like, that was just kind of ridiculous.
Right. People would do crazy things and cancel, like drive to McDonald's or
Yeah,
teach teach
yeah.
after the death of a loved one or
I
something, or
know.
worried about their classes when their parent just died or something.
I know. It
It's
was, but
crazy.
so yeah, so I'm gonna supplement my income with Outschool, and I have my Cambly schedule set up through August, through like the end of August. So we'll see about that. I don't know, but I haven't taught. I did work with my new teacher. I've supplemented before,
so you know who she is.
yeah, I know who she is. I feel like she's a little bit quieter than I am in the classroom. I feel like, just thinking back to how I was with the kids, everybody's different.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to be the one that's dancing and singing and on the floor. And
you need that. You need the yin and yang. It's good. My one TA was a lot more hard with the kids, and I was a lot more softer, but we kind of needed both, for different reasons. Like we had one kid that gravitated toward me, but then sometimes he needed the hard line that she would give him. So
So at least I know her, and there are actually 2 pre-K classes at that school.
Okay.
And I do know I worked with the other pre-K teacher as well. So I think it'll end up being a pretty good team.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping she calls me. She hasn't called me yet. School starts. Well, the teachers have to be back July 28th.
Oh, wow. You guys start early.
Yeah. So
Very
I'm like,
early.
I only have 2 more weeks.
Oh, yeah. And it's hot in Georgia. So I bet it's really hot in August. Yeah.
It's so hot. And then the kids start back on Friday, August 1st. Our county usually starts on Thursday or Friday. I know it seems kind of weird, but it actually really kind of works out. I'm not sure why they do it, but it works fine.
It eases you into the week before you got to go 5 days off.
Yeah, I think so. But so we start back. So I was hoping she would call me this week. I told the principal to, just to give her my number and tell her to call me, because I always went into my classroom the week before we had to be back to go ahead and get the furniture set up. Because, with a pre-K room, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff, everything, all the labels and all of the containers and just all the things that go into the classroom. So I was told that she does that as well. So I was hoping she would call me so I could go up and help her, because that's a good time to just talk,
Yeah, before the kids.
Yeah, before the kids get there, and you're kind of just cleaning and doing whatever, and setting up the room and stuff like that. But so we'll see. But I'm excited. Yeah. I am. I'm excited. I'm like, I only have 2 weeks left, but I'm ready. You really, I think I did well with myself on the quitting or resigning, knowing that it was time. And then now I know it's time.
It's time to go back. Yeah. So is it Head Start, or what kind of a pre-K is it?
No, it's just Georgia pre-K. It's right from the start.
Okay. Is it so is it similar to Head Start? Because we have, like, in Virginia, we also have, it's called VPI Virginia. So it's like similar to Head Start, except they get their funding from Virginians. So it's like for low income, or is it just like anybody who's in the school district can sign up for the
for Bright from the Start, which is who I work for. I mean, I work for the county, but right from the start is the umbrella under with that pre-K is under. It's lottery based.
Okay.
So everybody knows, when you can sign up for it, and they draw names. You have a week to, they assign you a certain week that you have to get all your paperwork done within that week. And then you're in. And most of the schools have wait lists.
Yeah, of course. Because, right, it's public school. It's probably free. And
well, it's for public school, and daycares have the Georgia pre-K program.
Oh, okay.
There are also Head Start pre-K programs, but I don't think there's any Head Start in our county. But I do know in Georgia they have them. Now, my school is a do they call it a Head Start?
Title I?
Title I.
Yeah.
My school's Title I, but we don't have Head Start.
Okay.
Not in my county. Other counties, yes, they do have Head Start in Georgia. But it's a little bit different. Paperwork is not there's a lot of paperwork, but I hear that Head Start has a lot of paperwork.
They do, because my first year working pre-K, I was inclusion teacher in the Head Start. So yeah, they have a lot of like testing and paperwork and kind of a lot of like rules and structure. Actually, I was at a training today, and it was for all pre-K. So it was for special education teachers, but also Head Start teachers, and just little things like you can't pre-cut anything for them because they have to create the whole thing. Just a lot more like rules and structure that I don't know if I'd like the rules and structure. I'll never say never that I wouldn't work for Head Start, but I kind of like that we have a little more freedom.
A little more freedom to do. I didn't do a lot of pre-cut things in my classroom. I always wanted them to just create and do now I did do we did do little Christmassy gifts and Mother's Day gifts and, things like that. We did a few little things like that, but just everyday artwork. I did some directed drawings and a few little things like that, but it wasn't a specific like, okay, let's all sit down and glue our eyes on our face or whatever,
Right.
And if we did, and they put the eyes on the knees, like let's say we're just making like a bear or whatever, and they put the eyes down here, the eyes stayed down here. I didn't move them.
Yeah.
I mean, I would try to, are his eyes on his knees, things like that. And if they laugh and say yes, I would say, okay, whatever.
Yeah. I kind of like them to be creative like that too. Like I wouldn't correct that stuff.
Now, have you always been in pre-K?
No. Well, I mean, since I started this program and becoming a certified teacher, I'll be on my third year. But no, I mean, I worked in the private school. I did high school, and then
and then middle school. Okay,
middle school. I tried that for half a year. That was the longest half year of my life.
I remember I did watch those videos, and I thought when you said you were going to middle school, I was like, oh boy.
Yeah. Never again.
Middle schools I hear high school is not so bad. I hear high schools.
I've heard that too. I mean, when I did high school, it was a private school, so totally different situation. I had like 8 kids, but my kids kept telling me when I was in the middle school, like, oh, high school wouldn't be as bad. They at least, I don't think I'd do high school, but if I ever did, it would be like an elective. I wouldn't want to do like English or like a subject where they all had to be there.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Yeah, like maybe a subject where they chose it, like an elective. Like I have a video background, so some high schools have like a TV studio. Like I could teach that.
Oh yeah, or home ec or something.
Yeah, something where I'm sure there still would be trouble, but something at least where they wanted to be there.
They wanted to be there, or they're there just their girlfriend's there, and he's
right.
Class
or
too.
their mom made them take.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I do like the little ones though. I like how it's fun and you learn through play, and
I do too.
They still like you.
Yeah. I know. Now I do like subbing in the older grades. Certain schools I like subbing in the older grades. It really just depends on which school, but I like the older kids because It's just so different. It's just very different than pre-K.
Right.
But,
They talk.
I just always sort of trend to
Yeah.
pre-K, I guess probably because for so many years, for 16 years, and it's just that was the thing, like 16 years, like all summer long, I was doing stuff. And then school started and you're doing stuff all school and then doing things over Christmas to get ready for the next, semester and over and constant. And it was just,
Yeah.
constant
So,
work.
well, I heard like when you sub in the high school,
Mhm.
they do everything online now. Someone was telling me she subs in the high school and you just give them the assignment and you don't even have to make sure they do it. Like it's kind of the same thing in middle school, but you have to make sure they're actually doing it. Just like they get the consequence with the teacher. So it's almost like an easy job in the high school.
Yes, that's what someone told me about subbing in the high school, that they're like, go sub in high school. It's so easy because it's all on, it's all on their Chromebooks and they have their assignments and you're just there to make sure they survive.
Right. They don't kill anyone. Yeah. You don't even care if they do it or not.
It's
Like,
like,
yeah.
I
So at
guess
least
if you were a long-term sub, you'd have to kind of motivate and
yes.
make them
Yeah.
care, because then a long-term sub, you're more responsible for,
Yeah.
the
You
work.
could like create Outschool classes or I would go in there, create videos or do my own thing while yeah.
I tell you, the organization, that was the way to go for me, I think.
Yeah, I could see that because it kind of sounds like VIP Kid where they just hand you the curriculum. Then you don't have to worry about talking to the parents, creating the class, doing all the administration stuff, because that stuff took a lot at Outschool. It was like,
Yes.
well, I'm making this much money from the class, but if you really thought about all the stuff you did outside the class,
stuff you did, yeah. Well, that's like, I mean, I do have to respond to parents, like if they email, because it comes up on my platform kind of thing. But I know Marianne, she'll respond sometimes. Like she responded to something yesterday, and then she sent me a message that said she went ahead and responded. I was like, oh, good, because I wouldn't have known what to say, but now I know, so she kind of takes the lead and then sort of gives you more.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to show your Outschool classes again. And yeah, I worked with Marianne. We did the Outschool boot camp.
I know. And see, and I did the Outschool boot camp.
You did our boot camp?
Yes. And that's how I knew about Marianne. And then also Paige.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And I did notice a little while back, she was looking for people too, but then I was like, I don't really know, and then this came up and it was pre-K and some of the reading classes. So I was like,
exactly what you do.
Yeah. And I actually subbed for her for a whole week.
For Paige?
Marianne.
Oh, for Marianne.
Okay. Yes. I did all of her classes one week. She has a ton of kids. And I did all of her classes and it was so much fun. It was my first week ever. So I really just got thrown in. Well, I'll just have to say, if anyone is teaching right now and you're feeling like you just take a break, that's my advice, is just take a break, even if it's just for a year or two.
So I know I'm going to get this question, so I'm going to go ahead and ask it because someone's going to say it, but not everyone can afford to. So what would you say to someone who's like, well, I can't afford to?
I know. If you cannot afford to, I don't have any advice for that. I don't
maybe get another job. Shameless plug, but I've got a few videos. I have a whole playlist for alternative jobs for teachers.
Right. That you could get another job. The one thing I think my husband keeps saying, you're burnout because you're trying to do all these extra teaching jobs and your school job. But he knew that I loved all those extra teaching jobs,
like the VIP Kid.
Yeah. So, I mean, definitely if you can take a break and sub. So you stay in the in the minds of the people that you might want to work for again. You know, granted, you don't get your insurance and you're off of retirement, but you get paid, and then get a second, get a second job somewhere, or bump down to a para job to take a break for a little bit. So you're still getting your insurance and you're still getting your retirement, and then get a little second job.
Yeah, maybe something you enjoy.
Then you can still at least get your retirement, your insurance, if you bump down to a para. And then when you're ready, just go back,
Yeah.
I am thankful. I am very, very thankful and grateful that I was able to do it, because if I couldn't, I would be frazzled.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do. I don't know if I would just completely quit altogether and just somehow find another job.
Yeah.
I am thankful that I was able to do that, but
yeah.
it was very helpful to me to do that. And now I'm going back.
Yeah.
Let's see. Online teacher for 9 years. Wow.
5 years. Oh.
Online for 9. She used to teach K-5, teach kindergarten for 5 years. Now I have been an online teacher for 9 years.
Oh, okay.
I know. Yeah. I can't believe it's been since 2019.
I know. I think, I started in 2018. I know. And I remember we were VIP Kid. It became all encompassing. Like,
yes.
Kind of like you were describing with being in pre-K. It was like you were always trying to learn something and do something and hang out with people. And it became more than just the actual teaching.
Yeah.
I went to one of the in-person conferences. I think it was in 2019 with, maybe it was 18, with Kim. That's how we got to meet in person. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've met Cindy and Casey in person.
Oh, okay. I met Casey too. I met her briefly. So I met Kim. I met Kathy Kelly that watches.
Oh, and Jerry.
Oh, okay. I have not met her in person. Yeah. So Kim, Kathy, and Casey. Maybe Cindy and I will get to meet in August. She's coming near me. Yes. So hopefully we do.
Hopefully, she's sweet.
Rebecca said I met Evelyn Joy. Yeah, I saw pretty recently. I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah, I saw that too. Started 2016.
Less than 10,000 teachers. You got in the beginning.
And we got in right before COVID.
Right. I want to meet more. Same. Yes. Same. Well, thanks for coming. Anything else you want people to know before we end?
I don't know. I think that's about it.
We covered it all. Yeah.
Teaching and taking off and going back.
Yeah. Good luck with your school year.
So. Oh, well, thanks and good luck. When do you start?
I start, I think it's August. Hold on. I'll let you know in a minute. I start August 11th. Then the kids start August 18th.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. And see, our kids are out the Friday before Memorial Day is their last day of school.
Oh, okay.
And then we have teacher work days, the two days after Memorial Day.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cause we go 2 weeks after Memorial Day. So
and I do the same as a teacher. I do 190 days. So the kids have 180, and then we have 10 combination of pre and post planning.
Oh, okay. We do that too, but our paras do a little bit less.
Do they?
More than the kids, but less than the teachers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now pre-K is 190, but our K paras, our kindergarten paras, they do less. They do one. They only have like 3 days or something that they do. But
thank you. It's been fun.
It's been fun. Thanks for asking me.
Yes, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming here live, Rebecca and Oki, and anyone who will watch later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.